Hello, this is Ben's Balls of Yarn, and on this channel we like to crochet, and I'm bringing you this video from my bedroom floor. In this video I just wanted to show you how I've been making this lovely yarn shelf, I guess, just out of cardboard. I really wanted a yarn shelf to see all my yarns, and I'm going to add some labels so that when I pick out the yarn, which is particularly helpful for me as a pattern maker, I'll know the number and name of that yarn straight away, so I can just write it down in my pattern and I don't have to keep looking it up on Google. So I wanted this yarn shelf, but I didn't really want to spend any money on it at all. So I just thought I would use what I've got and try and make one myself, and I have a lot of card and I have some glue, and that's basically all you need. So this shelf is made out of card, so it's not going to be the biggest or most stable structure in the universe, but it is going to suffice for what I need, and it's custom made to fit the yarns that I like to use. So I just thought I would show you my process just in case you've always wanted a yarn shelf and you weren't really in a financial place to afford one. I'm just going to show you a super cheap way and potentially free way if you are savvy enough to make yourself a yarn shelf. Let's start by looking at the materials and tools you'll need. You will need some A3 card of any colour you like, a glue stick, a metal ruler. This one is 90 centimeters or 35 inches, but you only need a ruler as long as the longest part of your card. A Stanley knife and a pencil. And if you didn't want to buy a specific card for this, then you could just save up on corrugated cardboard and make your shelf out of corrugated cardboard. So just packages or boxes, go to the supermarket, ask for corrugated cardboard. You could probably do it for even cheaper that way. Also, one thing that I don't have access to right now is my cutting mat. So I'm just using this cardboard box, which is from a pack of lovely toilet paper, but never mind that. And I'm just using this as my cutting mat. Obviously it's not self-healing like a cutting mat is, but that doesn't matter because it was just going to be going into the recycling bin anyway, so now I'm using it. So if you don't want to invest in a cutting mat, just use cardboard box flattened. I haven't actually calculated the number of sheets of card you need for the shelf, but future Ben will count them up now and put the number here. First, we need to start by marking our card. Now, you might not have exactly A3 card if you're in a country that doesn't do paper in A3 sizes, and you also might have a different size yarn for your project. So I would start by making a sample one because I went through about 3 samples before I got the size that I like. So the yarns that I use and the ones I want to display are the drops in a pool, the other drops that I use, which I can't remember right now, and this sheep cheese or shepiers, however it's pronounced, katona. So these are all 50-gram balls, so you don't need to have as big of a pigeonhole as you would if you're using 100-gram acrylic, for example. So if you are mainly using 100-gram acrylic, you might want to make bigger triangles than what I'm going to make. But luckily for me, if I divide this sheet into quarters, I will get a triangle that is the perfect size for both of these balls of yarn. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's mark the quarters on this sheet of paper. Now, because this is 42 centimeters, I'm going to mark 21 centimeters and 10 and a half and 31 and a half. Obviously, if you prefer inches, you can figure that out. I'm European, so I'm using centimeters. So 21, 10 and a half, 31 and a half. So I've marked at the top and the bottom, and then we can join up these marks, and then we're going to rotate our paper 90 degrees, and I'm going to split this in half, and as I said, this is 297 millimeters or 29.7 centimeters. So half of that is 14.85, which is roughly here. Obviously it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to get it as in half as I can. So 148.5 millimeters. So now we want to make some crease marks and we want to cut this in half. So along the shorter edge we're going to make crease marks, and then down the longer edge we're going to cut it in half. So let's start with the crease marks. I'm going to use the back of the knife to do crease marks. When you're using the back of the knife, just be very careful not to put your finger actually on the blade. So I'm lining my ruler up with the 2 marks that I made before. And joining those 2 marks with a crease. And the same here. Then we are now going to cut this in half long ways. So line up your ruler with the 2 marks and then try not cut your finger off. You might have to do 2 or 3 passes with the knife to get it through. And now we'll be able to make 2 triangles out of this one sheet. So to make the triangles is really simple. Just fold along the crease lines. Really easy to do, just by pinching your fingers like that. And now we're going to add some glue on one of these rectangles at the end. And don't be stingy with the glue, because this is the only thing holding it together and it's only made out of card. And now we want to stick the 2 ends of the triangle together as neatly as you can. Press it down a bit. And there we have our triangle. And you can see that mine is the perfect size for the katona and for the nopal. So let's make the other one. So for this yarn shelf, you're going to need 28 of these triangles. I just love the background of this video. Here I've already joined 4 together, and you want to join 7 together for each layer of this shelf. And in fact, if you wanted to do an even wider shelf than I'm doing, you could do as many as you want. Just make sure it's an odd number. On your triangles, there's going to be one side which is a double thickness just because of the way we've made it. And we want to apply glue to this edge. So again, with the glue stick, we're going to apply some glue. And now I'm going to attach this to the module of 4 that I've already made. And we're just going to try and line everything up as nicely as we can. And actually, I didn't mention this before because I don't have any right now, but I would highly recommend having some clips or some pegs and just holding that in place just for a little bit while the glue is drying. But I'm not doing it, so I guess you don't have to if you don't want to. But it would be helpful. So again, let's attach this 6th one. Just going to add some glue here. And then I'm going to add this one too. Yep. So just keep making triangles and attaching them. I've been doing it over several days because making 28 triangles at once would have done my head in. You want to make 4 lots of 7 triangles like this. So obviously you need a 7th one here. And then we will attach the 4 layers together. Okay, here I have my 2 strips of 7 triangles made, and I'm just going to glue them together so that one short edge is on the bottom and one short edge is on the top. So I'm going to flip this one over. I'm going to apply glue to all of this side, and then I'm going to stick this one on top. Okay, so I've made 2 of these and I'm just going to stick this one on top of this one. Okay, so this is the main body of my shelf and we just have one final step to do. I've made 5 more of these and I'm just going to be sticking them around the shelf like this, just to give it a little bit more structure and to hold all these triangles together. They should overlap by 1 rectangle each and there should be enough to go all the way around. So I'm just going to put glue along the entire surface of one of these strips and then start wrapping. I better use the cardboard so I don't get glue on the rug. Alright, I'm done with the construction of my shelf, so let's put it into place and then put some yarn in to see what it looks like. Alright, that's it for this video. Now, I know this wasn't the most professionally filmed video in the world. I was just doing it on my bedroom floor, but I feel like the results speak for themselves. I wanted to make this yarn shelf, so I just thought I'd make a quick video about it, just in case you wanted something similar. And this is exactly what I wanted, just a kind of small shelf with individual pocket holes, individual pigeonholes, so I could pick out the yarn I wanted to use when I wanted to use it, and I didn't have to go rummaging through all of my bags of yarn to find the yarn I wanted. They're all on display. It's almost like a piece of furniture or a piece of artwork in the room, and it's made of cardboard, so it's not going to be the most durable thing, and it's not the most well put together thing in the world, I must admit, but I think it looks pretty good for what it is. It looks pretty good, and I'm very happy with it myself. I've adorned my shelf with a few Amigurumi figures here, and if you would like to make any of these figures, then they are available on my Patreon, on the Fanatical tier, and also on my Etsy and Ravelry store. And if you buy those patterns, it just helps support my channel, helps me keep making video, helps me keep crocheting things for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.